In animation, stereotypes are means of quickly covering character. However, relying too much on them will solidify prejudice. Completely abandoning them will easily alienate the audience. The study focuses on the gray zone between the two plots of black and white, looking for expression that both easy to create and innovative. In general, stereotypes serve as cognitive shortcuts that have animation character quickly establish the character identity that resonates with the viewers. For example, animated works such as Mouseland 1992 and Harvest Cooper's 2003 stereotype the personality and behaviors of the characters from special groups and expressed through about like the particular social issue. However, the misuse of such stereotypes can deepen, produce, and harm viewers' self-identity and social understanding. For instance, in Archie and Sparky 2006, in order to emphasize the satirical and black humorous intentions, character consumes the application and entertainment of special group of people. Some of creators do emphasize freedom from the common cognitive basics and tend to challenge the previous stereotypes, pursuing innovation in the personality style and narrative. Example includes Paralyze 2020 and The Dam Keeper 2014, which each depart from the stereotypes to varying degrees, breaking away from the conventional narratives and specific character mappings. At the same time, they also raise the barriers to entry for animated work, lowering the audience size of invention or probably departing from the stereotypes in terms of design, but with the less story-driven and less creative depth. Back to the research, black represents the direct use of stereotypes, white represents complete abstraction and rejection of labels. Gray is an intermediate strategy that selectively uses familiar elements to enhance recognition, while concocting more complex emotion experience through narrative and symbols. I use a creative practice method to conduct research, taking my 2D short film animation Renati as a core case. I explore how to apply the gray zone strategy in track design, plot logic, and visual symbols. In this animation, I use cat as an animal that is often given an impression of indifference as a prodigy, telling the story of its efforts to return home after faking dies. In track design, I retain the stereotypes that cats have 9 lives, but in the terms of behavior setting, I gave the loyalty and obsession, breaking the traditional impression and creating a tension between the traditional impression and deep emotions. In the narrative structure, I set up a got 2 endings. One ends with anger, and other turns to understanding and recognition, thus interpreting the gray motion tension. At first, I designed the plot of the cat devouring its owner to highlight its perverseness, but after further plotting, I introduced the gray zone strategy, using illusions to mislead the audience and complete the emotion relevances in the gentle way. In this progress, I found that the gray zone is not only a change in form, but also a optimization of emotion logic. I found that using black visual symbols for foreshadowing such as symmetry, cross, and illusion shots can enhance the narrative dramatic tension, and through the abstract plot twists such as hunger illusion instead of the real damage. The emotional concentration of the story can be retained without falling into a violent sincerity. My story does not forcefully remove labels, but guide its audience by pretending the conforms of stereotypes, and finally breaks expectation with real size, thus achieving a high level of emotion and binding. During the research, I realized that stereotypes themselves are not a problem, but whether we are used as a tool. Through gray zone design, character can introduce the deep expansion space without sacrificing audience resources. For independent animation, this is an effective creative path. The gray zone creative strategy connects emotion, society, and cultural identification, providing independent animation with the possibility of balance originally and audience acceptance. This strategy provides independent animation with a simplified, and expression path. I hope it can be reference, test, and extended by more characters.